Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome to the Experimental Home. I am learning to knit. I'm teaching myself to knit, and I would love it if you learn to knit along with me. This is the second post in a series on learning to knit, and the first one where I actually knit anything. I have knitted one thing in my entire life. It is this little square right here. It's the same blue yarn. I'm very proud of it, so don't laugh. And I will teach you how I did that in this tutorial. So hopefully you can learn along with me and we can be novice knitters together. Alright, here we go. So I've got my knitting needles here and I have some yarn. So the first thing you have to do is get stitches on your hook. That's the thing. I'm a crocheter. I've been crocheting for years. I'm just learning to knit. So if I slip up and say hook instead of needle, sorry. And also, I'm going to do a lot of things the way I do them because it fits my current skills as a crocheter. Alright, so we're going to start with a slip stitch, which is something you also do in crochet. Basically, you're going to make a loop with your yarn and then pull your yarn through, and you get a cute little slip stitch like here. It's not really cute. I don't know why I said that. Whatever. So you're just going to stick that on your needle. And then you want to cast other stitches on so that you can knit. And theoretically, as wide as you want something to be, if you want something to be 20 switches wide, you want to cast 20 stitches on. I'm just doing a quick little sample here for you guys, so I'm going to cast 10 more stitches on here. And what I'm using is called a backwards loop cast on. Apparently it's not the best kind. It's the only kind I've done. It's the simplest looking one, so it's the one I started with. And you know, I'll let you know as I learn more. Basically what you do is you make a loop, so I'm just running the yarn around my finger, and then you position it so that the tail of the loop is pointing towards the previous stitch, which will make the loop stay on your hook. And you can just go long and do this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm getting better, 9, 10, whoops, 10, no. Alright, now I have 10 stitches on my hook. So I'm going to hold the needle with my stitches on it in my left hand and take my empty needle in my right hand. And I'm going to hold my yarn in my left hand. Apparently you can also hold it in your right hand, but since I'm a crocheter, I'm used to holding it in my left hand, so that's what I'm going to do. So you're going to take, to do a knit stitch, which is what we're going to do here, we're just going to knit. The other stitch is called purl. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. So you're going to take your needle and you're going to stick it into the front of the stitches on your left needle. You can see your stitch here, and then there's this little edge from your cast on, and if you call that the line between the front and the back, you want to stick it right before that to the front of the stitch and let your needle go to the back of your left needle. So you've got your left needle over your right needle. And then you're going to take your yarn and just make a loop on your right needle, which is behind your left needle. And then you're going to take that loop and pull it through. Sort of takes turning the needle a little bit, the loop on your needle, on your left needle, and then you're just going to pull that loop off. And I've knit one stitch. I have this little space always between these. I don't really know if that's good or bad or the way it should be, but it seems to be working alright. So we'll continue here. Stick your right needle behind your left needle, make a loop, yarn over the needle, make a loop, and pull it through the front one and pull the front one off. Ooh, I don't think you're supposed to do that. Alright, and then you have 2 needles on your hook. I kind of read ahead in my knitting book, and it said that there are ways to fix things when you screw up and like drop a stitch or something. I think that's going to be necessary things to learn. I'll let you know when I learn that as well. Alright. In and out. Alright, here we go. You'll notice that I'm not good at this. I am still learning. I'm not kidding you here. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what I read in the book. but I hope that you will follow along and we can learn together. And off, and behind, and off. And stick that needle in there. Admittedly, this is actually the second time I did this tutorial, so the yarn has already been used once. I should have cut that part of the yarn off. It's a little bit unraveled, which is making this a little extra difficult. But, you know, you live and learn, right? And then stick this needle right in there, yarn over, pull it through the loop, pull the loop off, 2 more. I can't get it in. Pretty sure using your fingernails is really not the way you're supposed to do this, but, you know. That's alright. Alright, last one. Alright. Now I have all my stitches on this hook, and there's lots of places where my yarn fell apart, and that doesn't look so great, but that's okay. If I turn this over, you can kind of see, wow, this one didn't turn out very well. Sorry about that. But you can see these little bumps. Those are what it's supposed to look like. That indicates I knitted that row, which I thought I did. Yay. And so now I'll continue with the next row. So basically you switch your needles. So you put the one from your right hand in your left hand, and you do the exact same thing in the next row. Going through, sticking your needle in, yarning over, pulling that loop through the one on your left hook, and pulling that loop off. Which didn't happen right there. Yikes. Alright, I am going to continue along and knit, 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 and I'll check back with you when this gets a little bit bigger and show you how to cast off. Alright, I'm back, and I have knitted 5 rows here, and you can see these little bump, 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 bumps. That's what a knit fabric should look like, so I must be doing something right. So I'm going to show you how to cast off, or how to get all these loops off your hook, so that when you take it off, or hook, needle, so when you take it off, you know, it doesn't all unravel. I would have knitted a few more rows for you, but my son's asleep and I'm afraid he's going to wake up, and I wanted to get this done today. So, here we go. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use what's called a knit cast off. So, first thing we're going to do is knit just like we were before. So yarn over and pull through one, and pull through the loop and pull the loop off your needle. And then we're going to do it again, just like you were knitting those previous rows. Alright, so until you have 2 loops on your right hook. Now you're actually going to use your left hook to take the loops off. Your right hook to take the loops off your left hook. So you're going to stick your right needle in the furthest loop from the tip, and you're going to pull that over, maybe the first one. So now you only have 1 loop over here on your right hook, right needle. Sorry about that, I'm really trying. Alright, so we knit again. Get it all over here to the right needle, and then you again use your left needle to pull the far stitch over the closed stitch on your right needle, and you can see this starts to make little loops on top that look like crochet if you're a crocheter. In fact, when I started doing this, I was like, wow, the second step would be so much easier with a crochet hook. But I'm figuring it out. Alright. kind of wish you could see my face, because I'm pretty sure I make ridiculous faces when I'm doing this. My tongue sticking out. Pursing my lips. I really don't know what I'm doing. But hopefully I'm teaching you something, right? Or at least we're getting a good laugh out of the fact that I really don't know what I'm doing. I think that it's really important to be able to laugh at yourself when you're learning to do something new. Because, you know, there's a learning curve to everything, and I feel like the learning curve is pretty high with this. And, you know, I'll get good eventually. But until then, I'm just going to clumse along here. Alright, I'm almost there. Alright, last one. Needle to the front, loop over, pull through the loop off. Whoops, drop your needle. 2 loops left, pull the far one over the close one with your left needle. And you have 1 loop left. And you can just cut the yarn here and just pull this straight through, and it won't come undone. And as you can see on the top, there are these 2 little loops together that look much like a chain if you're crocheting, or the top of a crochet stitch. And it's all safe, and there are no extra loops to bind off. So, look what I did. I knitted something. Yay! And I hope you will too. Thanks for stopping by.